Most people believe habit change is an inner battle. Have enough willpower, you win. Lack it, you fail. It's a neat story, simple, comforting, and it sounds true until you look closely at your own repeated failures. Take someone who wants to sleep early but lives in a household where midnight is considered still early. Or someone who wants deep focus but works in an environment where interruptions are treated like a team sport. Or someone who wants disciplined eating while every meaningful relationship in their life revolves around spontaneous food. The issue here isn't weak willpower. It's that the new behavior is violating the unspoken logic of the ecosystem surrounding that person. Humans do not live in a vacuum. Every personal habit is embedded in a web of invisible expectations from family, colleagues, friends, and the social roles we quietly perform. When you change a habit, you're not just changing behavior, you're destabilizing an old equilibrium. And systems, by nature, resist destabilization. Not because they're malicious, but because they were optimized for the previous version of you. People who are used to your availability at night feel uncomfortable when you start declining. People who rely on your constant help feel you've changed when you begin protecting your time. People synced to the old rhythm will unconsciously pull you back, not out of ill intent, but inertia. So habit change isn't just self-improvement, it's relationship renegotiation. You're not only asking, how do I want to live? You're also confronting, how do the people around me expect me to live? When those answers clash, the new habit doesn't just struggle, it barely survives. A behavior unsupported by its environment must live on effort alone, and effort, by definition, is not sustainable. That's why lasting change rarely starts with forcing yourself harder. It starts by making the new behavior make sense within the old context, or by adjusting the context to fit the behavior. When someone tells their family they need quiet evenings to read and sleep early, they're not just forming a habit, they're drawing boundaries. When someone aligns with colleagues on uninterrupted work hours, they're not being rigid, they're redesigning how the system functions. When someone surrounds themselves with people whose rhythms match who they want to become, they're not seeking motivation, they're changing the direction of pull. Here's the interesting part. When the environment shifts, the feeling of having to try drops dramatically. What once required iron discipline now flows naturally. Not because you've become a better person, but because resistance has changed direction. When resistance turns into support, what we used to call willpower becomes almost irrelevant. Habit change, then, isn't an internal war, it's an architectural project. You don't build a house by blaming yourself for the rain, you build it by understanding where the wind comes from. The people who change sustainably aren't stronger, they're smarter about where they place themselves. And once the configuration is right, the habit no longer feels like something you must maintain. It becomes simply how life works in that system.